For the Labor Day weekend block party in this North Philadelphia neighborhood has been a community staple for almost half a century. But this year, it won't be the same. Organizers say their permit request has been denied because of violence in the area.
The community is outraged. The community is outraged. They can't get their block parties. They're coming out and speaking now. They're speaking out in droves because they want to carry on their traditions. Let's look at the news clip and I'll come back and I'll give my opinion.
For the Labor Day weekend block party in this North Philadelphia neighborhood has been a community staple for almost half a century. But this year, it won't be the same. Organizers say their permit request has been denied because of violence in the area. It is Monday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is the safety concerns that are leading to block party permits being denied across Philadelphia. Some 200 applications have been shut down this year, police citing criminal activity as the cause.
And that is exactly what happened on Camac Street in North Philadelphia. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson spoke with disappointed residents there. Becca, you have the full story.
Sarah and Brian, one neighbor told me he feels like his community is being stripped of their rights. They've held this same party for 50 years and never had a problem. But the city denied their application this year, calling this block a problem block.
My cousin Renetta.
Sitting on her grandma's porch, Joan Amos is reflecting on a neighborhood tradition that has gone on for decades.
Just so many memories, you know.
Every year on the Saturday before Labor Day, she and her neighbors have a block party.
We just wanted to create a day, one day, that all family and friends get together just because.
That party won't happen as planned this year. The city denied her permit, calling the 2900 block of Camac Street a problem block.
A problem block, and I'm like, I didn't understand it. It's a lot of older people.
Amos says she followed all of the same steps. She got signatures from her neighbors, filed with the streets department for the block party permit more than a month before the proposed date, and collected money. The streets department sends all applications to Philadelphia police for review. Officers denied Amos's application, citing criminal activity.
To the best of my knowledge, I'm not aware of any block party that we've had where there's been any kind of violence at.
So far in 2022, the streets department has received more than 1,500 requests for block parties. Of those, roughly 200 have been denied for criminal activity. Philadelphia police said in a statement, the commanding officer of the police district where the application is for conducts an analysis of the block for safety concerns, crime, violence, and impact on emergency services. The totality of the situation is considered with the primary emphasis on safety of residents and attendees. Amos said she spoke with the police captain for her district, who cited shootings that have happened nearby.
Because there's a lot of activity with guns or whatever. But on the Parkway on the 4th of July, 2 police officers got shot.
Neighbors here on Camac Street say they're still going to have their party. They were told they just can't shut down the street. And they have worries about safety concerns there with cars going by during their party. Live in North Philadelphia, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News. Sarah?
Yeah.
Block parties and community events across the city of Philadelphia are being shut down. The local people, the decent people of the community are being punished for crimes that's being committed on blocks across the city. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be straight up, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it because in our communities that we come from, we see all kinds of crime. And you have select few people that do speak out, but for the most part, the community says nothing. You allow this kind of stuff to happen, and nothing, and nobody does anything. In our community, a young black man can blow a person's head off and come to your house and lay with you. He come to your house and sleep in your basement. You protect your brother, your cousins, your uncles, the ones that's doing these shootings. Open air drug markets, everything. So now we done had a whole plethora of block parties and things like that where they've been shot up. Grandmothers and mothers have been shot. Children have been shot. So now the city is saying we had an all-time high for murders. We're not comfortable with certain blocks having block parties. Where you have now families saying, well, this has been a tradition for 50 years. Well, guess what? There's been a tradition of black people killing black people for the last 50 years as well. And maybe, just maybe, you don't deserve it. You know, these are things that, and conversations that got to be had. When is the black community going to get tired of being tired? This should be a practice in New York, Chicago. No block parties for you. No, you don't get to celebrate anything until you start shaming bad behavior in your community. No community amenities, nothing for you. You deserve nothing as a people until you start shaming the degeneracy amongst your people. Because the biggest threat to my son being murdered is another black boy. Somebody's trifling parents not taking enough time to get their children in check. And it becomes a cultural thing in the community now, where you got decent parents are afraid to let their children mingle around these other children. Because there's a bunch of hood boogers running around destroying the communities, man. But again, I don't care who don't like it. You don't deserve shit until there's a national outcry in the black community of shaming bad behavior everywhere. Some things are just totally unacceptable. But I'm going to cut this video short here. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share to the George Macon Experience. Remember, I love y'all. Till next time, peace.